I'm putting my budget to the test as I try to travel to the most expensive countries and see if I can make it work without breaking the bank. Traveling can be one of the most rewarding experiences of our lives, but let's face it, it can also be super pricey. When planning a trip, one of the biggest concerns is always how to make our travel budget stretch as far as possible. Finding affordable travel options can be a real challenge, and sometimes it feels like the prices just keep going up and up. Whether it's flights, accommodation, food, or activities, everything seems to cost an arm and a leg. And it's not just the initial costs that are the problem. Often, it's the sneaky little expenses that add up over time, blowing our budgets out of the water. Rising costs can be a real travel killer, and it's not uncommon for people to have to scrap their plans altogether because they just can't afford it. And it's not just individual travelers who are affected. Even backpackers and budget-conscious travelers often find themselves struggling to make ends meet in certain destinations. As travelers, we all know that feeling of excitement and anticipation when planning a trip, but it's often tempered by the nagging worry of how we're going to afford it all. Will we have to sacrifice our comfort and stay in dodgy hostels or skimp on meals and activities just to make it work? Some countries are notorious for being super expensive, and it's often because of a combination of factors. From high accommodation costs to pricey food and activities, these countries can quickly drain our bank accounts. Take Switzerland, for example. It's a stunning country with breathtaking scenery, but it's also notoriously pricey. A simple meal can cost upwards of $20, and a night in a hostel can set you back $50 or more. Norway is another country that's known for being expensive, with prices that seem to be higher than anywhere else in Europe. From pricey museums to costly outdoor activities, Norway can be a real budget buster. And then there's Iceland, which has become super popular in recent years but also comes with a hefty price tag. But which countries are the absolute most expensive for travelers? After doing some research, I was shocked to discover that the top 3 most expensive countries are Bermuda, the Seychelles, and Qatar. These countries are not only pricey in terms of accommodation and food, but also have super high costs for activities and transportation. Bermuda, for example, is a tiny island nation in the Caribbean, but it comes with a big price tag. From luxury resorts to high-end restaurants, Bermuda is definitely not a budget-friendly destination. And then there's the Seychelles, an archipelago off the coast of East Africa that's known for its stunning beaches and luxury resorts. It's a beautiful destination, but it's going to cost you big time. Qatar is another country that's known for its high costs, from luxury hotels to high-end shopping malls. It's a great destination for foodies, but even a simple meal can cost upwards of $50 per person. So, there you have it, the most expensive countries for travelers. While they might be beautiful and exotic destinations, they're definitely not for those on a tight budget. But, as always, with a little creativity and some careful planning, even the most expensive countries can be made to work for budget-conscious travelers. If you've had any experiences traveling in expensive countries, let me know in the comments below. And if you're looking for some tips on how to travel on a budget, be sure to check out my video on travel budgeting hacks. It's packed with some valuable advice on how to make your travel dollars go further.